Assalamu alaikum. My name is Afia. I am a student of MS Chemistry. I am doing my MS from University of Management and Technology. Today I am here to present the topic of biological weapons. First of all, I will tell you about the basic contents which I cover about the biological weapons are its abstract, its introduction, its history, then types of biological weapons, its delivery mechanism, effects of biological weapons on different organisms, its defense against biological weapons, advantages and disadvantages, and at the end, I will conclude the topic of biological weapons. First of all, I will tell you about its abstract. Basically, the biological weapons are used in warfare agents to injure or kill peoples or animals, and further they are used to destroy crops with their pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria and viruses, and as well as other biologically active substances. Biological weapons are long lasting, and it's difficult to prevent and treat them. They can be easily transmitted, they are highly infectious, and the basic challenge of the international community is to prevent the spread of biological weapons worldwide. BWC stands for Biological Weapons Convention. It is a multilateral treaty that expressly prohibits the development, stockpiling, possession of biological and other toxic weapons, and its design and delivery, except for preventive, defensive, and other peaceful weapons. BWC is somewhat binding on states capable of producing biological weapons, and it has become a powerful tool for the international community to work together to address threats posed by biological weapons. Due to the rapid development of biotechnology, global biosecurity faces new and highly uncertain challenges and threats that require cooperation, promotion, and monitoring among BWC member states for the continuous improvement of the BWC to maintain global peace and stable development. I will tell you its introduction. Basically, biological weapons, they can also known as bioagents or toxic weapons. They are microorganisms such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and other toxic substances that are used by living organisms to kill the people, animals, or plants. They are used to released intentionally to cause disease and death in humans, animals, and plants. They are also known as bioweapons, bioagents, biological warfare, and biological threats. They cause large number of death in a short period of time. A large number of death can be caused by common biological agents such as anthrax, botulinum toxin, and plague. They pose a serious public health problems. They can be secondarily transmitted, and cause epidemics. They can cause complicate public health assessment and response. And biological weapons are also a part of a large class of weapons, sometimes also called conventional weapons or weapons of mass destruction, which also include chemical, nuclear, radiological weapons. Their use is a serious problem, and the risk of using these agents in a terrorist attack is expected to increase. Then comes its history, how they were used in wars to kill people's animals, and destroy plants. The Geneva Protocol, officially known as the Protocol for the Prohibition of the Use in War in Asphyxiation, poison, or other gases, and, their methods of warfare, was signed in Geneva in June 1925, and they entered into force in February 1928. It was considered the first major protocol, a milestone towards a comprehensive ban on biological weapons by banning their use, in which in which several countries have ratified their protocol with reservations regarding both the applicability of the protocol and their use in retaliation. These reservations made the Geneva Protocol the first non used treaty. In the post World War II disarmament negotiations, biological and chemical weapons were initially discussed. Shortly after the countries ended negotiations on the Nuclear Non Proliferation Treaty, which is also known as NPT, is held in 1968. The UK's initiative helped pave the way for breaking the deadlock in the chemical and biological weapons debate. The UK presented a working document proposing to separate the review of biological weapons from chemical weapons and focus on the former. Then I will discuss its types. There are five different categories of biological weapons that could be weaponized and used in warfare or terrorism. These include bacteria, viruses, fungi, toxins, and rickettsia. I will discuss them separately. First of all, I will tell you about the bacteria. Bacteria are basically single celled organisms. Bacterial agents are used as biological weapons due to their ability to cause infections and diseases. The different examples of biological agents are anthrax, brucellosis, tularemia, and plague. Then comes viruses. Viruses are intracellular parasites, and they are about 1 over 100 the size of bacteria. They could be weaponized to cause diseases such as smallpox, Ebola, and Marburg virus. The third major biological weapon is fungi. Fungi are pathogens that could be weaponized for use against crops, to cause such diseases as rice blast, cereal rust, wheat smut, and potato blight. They are basically used to destroy crops. Then comes toxins. Toxins are poisons that can be weaponized after extraction from snakes, insects, spiders, marine organisms, plants, bacteria, and animals. They are poisonous substances produced by living organisms, and they are also used as biological weapons. They have the ability to cause illness and death. Their examples are ricin, botulinum toxin, and saxitoxin. Then comes rickettsia. Rickettsia is the fifth category of biological weapons. They are intracellular parasites, and they reproduce inside the cells. They are microorganisms that resemble bacteria. Their examples are typhus and Q fever. Mm, these diseases are caused by rickettsia organisms. These are the basically five different categories of biological weapons that have the different abilities to cause different diseases in humans, in plants, and animals. Then I will tell you about the delivery mechanism of biological weapons, how they delivered in different organisms, in living organisms. Basically, the delivery systems for biological weapons can vary. Past programs have built rockets, bombs, hand grenades, and rockets to deliver biological weapons. Several programs have also designed separate tanks to be mounted on airplanes, cars, trucks, and boats. The attempts to develop delivery devices for assassination or sabotage have also been documented, including various sprays, brushes, and injection systems, as well as means of contaminating food and clothing. Then their effects on different organisms. The basically the major effects of biological weapons depend on the type, quality, and quantity of the biological agents which are used, and the efficiency of the delivery system, terms and conditions under which attacks are made, under which they are delivered to different organisms. Some diseases which are caused by biological weapons, such as plague and smallpox, are contagious, and other such as anthrax do not spread from person to person. Some diseases which are caused by biological weapons are communicable diseases, and some diseases which are caused by biological weapons are non communicable, such as anthrax. And the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, divides potential bioterrorist agents. They cause infections in humans into three different categories, named as A, B, and C. There are also different potential agents that can cause infection in plants. First of all, I will tell you about the three categories: category A, category B, and category C. First is comes category A. This class of biological weapons is highly lethal, and this class have significant effects on public health. Examples of this category include Bacillus anthracis, which is also known as anthrax, Clostridium, smallpox, Ebola, and other viral hemorrhagic fevers. They cause different effects on public health. They are highly panic and cause social disruption, and they have the ability to spread from person to person. Then comes the category B. This class of biological weapons is relatively easy to spread from person to person than the class A agents, because they have a moderate degree of infectivity, but it is generally less lethal. This class Examples of this class are Brucella species, Q fever, ricin toxin, and Vibrio cholera. Then the third category is category C. This class of biological weapons are emerging pathogens, and that could be easily produced and spread in the future. They can cause a high mortality and serious public health problems. Then comes the defense against biological weapons. I will tell you about the military defense. Most weaponized lethal biological agents are basically designed to be delivered, such as aerosols that cause different infections when inhaled by a target person. The most effective protection against biological weapons is a good protective mask equipped with filters that can prevent the entry of bacteria, viruses, and spores into the nasal passages and lungs of the user with the cross section greater than 1 micrometer. Then the protective clothing, including boots and gloves, is basic useful tools to prevent biological agents from coming into contact with open wounds or skin breaks. These They are basically used as protective tools to prevent from communicable diseases. Contaminants can also neutralize biological agents in infected areas after a biological attack. Then the deployment and development of effective biological weapons sensors can trigger an alarm, would allow workers to put on masks, access protective clothing, and enter preferably a non toxic common shelter before exposure. Medical teams then take immediate action to investigate and treat those exposed. Biological warfare attacks can be sometimes less effective or ineffective if the targeted individuals are vaccinated against the specific pathogens and used in the attack. Then comes the advantages of biological weapons. Biological weapons have different advantages as well as disadvantages. Their advantages are their ability to spread rapidly and cause widespread diseases and or death. They can be used to target a specific demographic or geographic area, and it could be very difficult to detect and respond to. They can be produced relatively cheaply, and they can be stored for long periods of time. In addition, biological weapons can be used to induce fear and panic, which can be a powerful tool in psychological warfare. These are the basic advantages of biological weapons. Then, after the advantages of biological weapons, I will discuss the advantages of disadvantages, which are basically that their spread and effects can be unpredictable. Biological weapons can also have long term effects on the environment and public health, and it's difficult to clean up. Their major disadvantage is that they can also harm innocent people because they can be difficult to target accurately. In addition, the use of biological weapons is illegal under international law, and the use of such weapons can have serious political and economic consequences. These are the disadvantages, and at the end, I will conclude the topic. In shortly, the use of biological weapons is a serious threat to public health and global security. One must try to avoid their use and be prepared for an attack. The best defense against biological weapons is to invest in early detection and response capabilities, and to work for the global disarmament of these weapons, because the use of biological weapons is illegal under international law. So one should try to avoid their use. And that's all about my topic. Thanks.